Hi everyone, this is the second episode of Khan and Arash chat.
Yes, the ones that we're filming.
Yes, the Khan and Arash chat series. And in this episode, we're going to talk a bit more about how it feels to be in a purpose-driven team versus a non-purpose-driven team, particularly in software engineering.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. So I think we want to kind of explain how we, what does it mean when you're in a team that has purpose, and what does it look like as a software engineer, but just as a general participant, because this applies regardless of what role you do have. But yeah, we can talk about.
Absolutely.
Talk about this, yeah.
So in our last video, we had an example of, say, if you're in a car manufacturing company, and someone asks you what's your job, you're not going to say my job is to install a tire or paint the car or something. You're going to say my job is to build the car.
Yes.
Think about the holistic view from the customer's perspective. Right now, Khan, tell me, I know you have many stories, tell me how you felt in software engineering as a programmer before being introduced to systems thinking and working in a holistically integrated team, and how did it feel after that?
Well, I think during my IT career, I've found that there's a lot of people who get a lot of injection of capital to go and build a good thing, and they might have a good idea and they're just, let's go and try and see what sticks. And that's great. You get to work with lots of different people and lots of different projects. Except when you look back on it, you go, what else? A lot of these projects, they didn't get the success that they were initially intending that they wanted to get. And a lot of these projects and companies have fizzled out over time. And so at the end of the day, you look at your resume and you go, well, what have I got to show for that? Where is that? Where are those projects? That large company, that large telco I worked for, they canned that website. So I worked really hard. I did a lot of overtime and I did a lot of really grinding, pulling out teeth to try and get this project done, and didn't get anything. It was used for 6 months and that was it. And so I think the one thing that was always invisible was the larger scheme of things. There was always a project manager or someone telling you why something was important, and you not understanding yourself. You're just having to take that on face value. Yeah, we're going to build this thing. It's going to change the world. Cool. But when it doesn't pan out that way, you kind of go, I want something a bit more. I want to understand right from the ground up what we're doing, why we're doing it.
Yeah, and what was your role? What did you feel your role is as a programmer, and the other people in the team? What were their roles?
So I guess as a programmer, you're just implementing something to potentially create value in another industry. So you're effectively building some sort of machine that increases GDP.
Your job is like to, deliver Jira tickets or what?
Well, that's how it's painted. And I think if you think about it tries to make things like a factory line, and but a factory line where you don't have that larger visibility of I'm building the car. You're just, I'm building the widget that's part of the car.
My job is to tighten these screws or hammer in whatever, like the Charlie Chaplin movie, right?
Yes.
The modern times where he's doing like one thing for the whole day.
Yeah, running backwards.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
So, and similarly, you ask for a business analyst, say what's your job.
Go talk to the business.
Exactly. That's what my job is, to talk to the business. Project manager, what's your job? My job is to make sure the timelines are stick to whatever, right?
Yes.
And where is the customer? Like we say, yes, the product owner, what's your job? Product owner is going to say, my job is to be the proxy customer or talk to the customer for you.
And so they get almost a very strong deciding vote in a way about, it's their perspective, and you might get a rogue product manager who, or maybe they're not rogue, they don't think they're rogue, but they're going, well, my experience counts for something, and without wanting to take feedback from what the rest of the system's telling them. Yeah.
And to be honest, I mean, it's a good step forward from having no voice from the business or from the customer to having one person who is actually dedicated. But at the end of the day, we are not directly talking to the business or the customer, right?
No, we're just part of a proxy, like you used the word you used before. It's a proxy of some delivery of value. And so we end up being hamstrung by that gate and not being able to directly see what our efforts come.
So now, Khan, tell me, I know you've worked in a team where, in my opinion, is the most agile, well holistically integrated, horizontally integrated across the business, right? Like a true cross-functional team.
Yes, 100%.
Tell us your experience in that team as a software engineer.
All right. So I was brought into a team that was in a financial services organisation, and we basically sat with the contact centre as close as we could to the customer, and would basically build out a CRM, if you will, to facilitate any customer work, to basically make that customer work as seamless as possible, so that customers, when they called in, the people serving them had the information that they needed, and the outcomes would show it on the outcomes through automation, through better integration with different systems, and
how did it feel as a programmer sitting in that team?
Good. And not only because we were doing good work and exciting IT work, but also because we could see the impact of our work, not only at the end, but also during the whole process. We could see right at the start, we'd get data around what would be the best thing to work on, what would have the most impact, and then we'd work with the business. We'd be accountable for the outcome more so than anything else.
So your job was not to deliver code or deliver Jira tickets. Your job was to deliver good service to the client. You were measured on the same metrics as the operations team, right? As a call center.
And I think that's the one thing I almost forget about, but you're basically told, hey, your metrics are the same as the people answering the phones. And changing that dynamic just throws things out, because a lot of the time you kind of let other teams absorb any of the nuances that you got. You might build a product and you go, I know that it's not that great in this certain circumstance, but then when you don't actually realise the true impact that decision has on the way that a customer experiences your products.
Absolutely. Now, in our future video, we're going to talk more about this team and how things work there. But please stay tuned until our next video. Have a good one.
Bye.